Hello everybody, this is Niclas Huschenbeth and today I would like to show you a blitz game. In fact, from the Titled Tuesday Tournament, which took place in May, just a few days ago. And the game was between Verdenotte, this is his username, Gawain Jones, strong English Grandmaster, and the World Championship challenger Fabiano Caruana, who was for the first time live streaming his tournament, and I definitely recommend you to check out the stream. This is where I saw the game, and I was so impressed with Caruana's resourcefulness in a completely lost position that I want to share this game with you on here. So let's begin. Before we do that, as always, the comment of the day, and it's by Budevin Redeka. I'm sorry for the mispronunciation. He says, please stop patting yourself on the back with these comments of the day. You don't need it and you look a bit silly doing it. Otherwise, I like these classic games presented this way. Well done. Thank you. And also thank you for the feedback. And well, let's have a survey about it. What you guys think. Should I keep it? Should I only include comments that are maybe questions or where there's some discussion? Let me know. I don't see it as patting myself on the back. I see it as giving a shout out of those of you guys who are supporting me here on my channel and who are brightening my day. So that's my view, and let's hear what you think. Find the link to the survey in the description. All right, now let's get to the game. Verdenotte, Gawain Jones with the white pieces and Caruana with the black pieces, e4, e5, and Gawain plays the Ponziani opening very rarely seen at the top level because it doesn't have the best reputation. And here after e5, probably knight d5 should be played, but knight e4 is still possible. But after queen e2, it's already getting a little bit murky for black, and he needs to play f5 here. That's the only move. f5, e takes f6, and now support the knight on e4 with d5. But Caruana went for knight c5, and now after 6 moves, he's pretty much already in a close to lost position. C takes d4, hitting the knight. Now the pawns are forking both knights, but black is able to save the knight. But we look at this position, we see the knight is in trouble, and white has very strong pawns on e5 and d5, and this is looking really bad for black. Check, knight c3, now c5 supporting the knight. Bishop to d3. Black cannot even castle now because of checkmate. d6, e takes d6 with check. King has to go to f8. And now queen f4 defending this position. I saw this position during the stream and I thought, okay, there's no way for black to come back from this. You can't even win the pawn on d6. There are all kinds of ideas like a3, b4, and white is better to develop. What can you do? But Caruana showing resourcefulness, playing h5 with the idea to bring the rook to h6. Now knight e4, good move, and here Caruana played bishop f5. And now bishop to e3. Here actually this idea of going a3 followed by b4 would have been quite strong, because of the c takes b4, white can play move like queen e5. Okay, of course this is all easy to say with the computer on, but this was one way for white to play. Jones plays bishop e3, g5. And now queen check g5 and knight f3 check. Nice little tactic here by Caruana. Problem though is white is still winning. Black is winning the queen, but white is having so much material, and also the black king is weak that white is still winning. Rook g6 and takes, and here Caruana recognizes if he just moves the queen, let's say to d7, then there's bishop h6, there's bishop e7 check, bishop h6 actually wins the queen on the spot. So he tries bishop takes e4, and here Jones goes astray. He takes the queen, very natural move, but there was one cute little move to play. And what could that be? Can you figure it out maybe? Stop the video if you want to try that. Alright, so he could have given a check on e7. The point is now if black takes, then there's another check, and white will be up a full rook, so that's no good. And if the king goes to g7, let's say, now white just takes on e4. With the pawn, he has tremendous pawn center. He has rook and bishop for the queen, and this is just utterly winning for white. But in blitz game, of course, you can miss that. He takes on d8, and now we see Caruana's pawn. He doesn't take the bishop on d8. He doesn't take this one, but he gives a check. and now he takes the bishop on d8, and suddenly black's only an exchange down. He has the two bishops. The king on g1 is maybe a little bit unsafe. Position is quite unclear again. We see also the evaluation bar not giving that much of an advantage for white anymore. Rook fc1. Now another strong move here by Caruana. He doesn't take the pawn on d6 right away, because then white can play a3 and pick up the pawn on c5. So he goes b6. Now a3, bishop d2, bishop to f4, rook d6, bishop e4. Jones is also playing good moves here, but the position remains rather unclear, even though here he could have gone rook a1 and black cannot hold on to the pawn a7. The position is winning once more for white. But at this point both players were pretty low on time, so that of course also explains the mistakes. Now black pushes the a pawn, that makes a lot of sense. King e3 now activates the rook, and here white should go rook d2 to cover against this potential check on b3, but he goes f3, and now Caruana smells blood and brings the rook in, check, 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 and suddenly black wins back the exchange and is in fact winning here at this point. What a turnaround. He's winning because of his strong passed pawn on the a file. a4 pushes the pawn, king f2, a3, king g3, and now king e5 forward, good move. Rook c7, and here Caruana plays f5. He could have also gone a2 right away. Rook a7, now simply rook e2, and black will at some point play bishop c4 and then get the rook to first rank and win. But Caruana thought he had spotted the win, playing f5, rook check, king d6, check, bishop takes f5, and now he played a2 because he thought that white cannot stop the pawn, but white is still in time of rook e1. Here black could have won with bishop d7 because of the rook f6. Now indeed the rook cannot stop the pawn. White can still try d6, but after king b6 covering a5, d7, rook d3, it's all over as black will queen. But Caruana misses this. Of course both players were in seconds here, so very understandable. Goes a2, rook e1, and now the position is still winning. Black can play a move like bishop e2 here or bishop c4, but it's of course much trickier. And after rook a3, rook a1, I believe now position is not winning anymore, as white is in time with his counterplay, picking up the last pawn and then pushing his h-pawn forward, so that black eventually has to give up his rook. That's exactly what happens. White gives up the rook for the pawn on a2. Actually, this is how it happened now, but okay, there was no difference. And now if rook takes, of course there's rook takes a2, and it's a draw, so king b2 wins the rook, but there's no material left, and this endgame is such an easy draw that there's really not much to it. I can show you, well, I could show you the last 23 moves, but there's no point to it really, and this was the final position and the players agreed to a draw. But still an unlikely comeback from Caruana, and going from a completely busted position out of the opening to a winning position, and showing great resourcefulness. This h5, rook h6, g5, even though it was still lost, it posed problems, and Jones at this one point didn't find bishop e7, and suddenly it was quite unclear again. All right, so interesting game. And then Caruana, after this one, won his next 5 games and actually tied for second with Anish Giri in the tournament. Once again, I recommend you to check out his live stream on Twitch. You find the link in the description. All right, you guys, that's it from me for today, and I'll see you again tomorrow probably, right? All right, see you guys, bye.